Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lynn and I am Pretty Paper Craft 67. Today I just want to do a little craft with me doing a masterboard. A masterboard is basically a collage of anything that you have on hand. Scrap papers, they don't have to be scrap papers. It's just a montage. Yeah, this is one I did earlier today. I am using up a whole heap of my scraps with my Edith Holden, and they get to this point where there's not much more you can do with them, so I'm going to turn them into masterboards, and then from that I'm going to cut my ephemera, tags and journal cards mainly, but we might end up with a few other little bits and pieces. So let's get started. Yeah, so I use a 12 by 12 base when I'm doing a masterboard. I tend to use a lot of my leftover packaging from paper packs and things like that. You get that cardboard sheet in with your paper packs, and I find I like to use it because it's sturdy. So you've already given yourself a nice base on a tag or a journal card. You'd need some glue. I choose to use a glue stick, but I am a little bit fussy about which glue sticks I use. I like the Bostik glue. That's my favourite, but this one's pretty good as well. It's a Study Mate, and I just picked it up from Officeworks. It's proving to be quite a good one. So yeah, some glue and a bone folder pretty much, and scrap paper. So basically a masterboard is just putting images or playing with paper, just putting down some paper. I've got a lot of images, I've got a little bit of text. I always just like to do a bit of a layout before I start gluing, just to give me a little bit of a rough idea how I want to get going with it. And but I just find the easiest probably really is just to jump in and just start sticking down. So I think that's what we'll do. I've got my eye on the clock. My camera only records for 30 minutes, so we'll see how much we can get done in 30 minutes. And see, it's a surprise. You turn it over, and I like that image better. So I tend to go a little bit heavy-handed with my glue stick. You probably don't have to, as long as you know it's going to adhere well, because this is the base of your ephemera, so you don't want this lifting up down the track. Then I just always go over it just with my bone folder, just to give it a good press down, make sure all the glue is spread out and there are no air bubbles. I'll start over here. This one. So I know that there are some people that can be a little bit intimidated by collage. Please don't be. It's such fun. It's a no thinking. Well, for me, it's a no thinking process. I often do collage when I'm in between projects, and it's something that I want to start getting into the habit of doing, is preparing my ephemera in advance. I tend to work project to project. I'm in awe of these ladies that can have, you know, heaps of projects on the go at one time. I'm trying to learn that. But yeah, I'm going to start, or I have started, I should say, making my ephemera in advance for no particular project, and then that way, you know, I've always got bits and pieces ready to go if something comes up. Or I have a habit, a really bad habit, I'll do a junk journal, and you know, I get consumed in the one project, and then when it's said and done, then realising, oh geez, now I've got to go back and fill it full of ephemera. So I am trying really hard to make my ephemera in advance so that I don't have that problem anymore. But you know, best of intentions don't always work out the way you want them to. So yeah, so I have found by creating masterboards, you're halfway there. You've got a whole heap of tags cut up, or journal cards, or oh geez, what else can you do? Your side tuck spots. You can create your side pockets from masterboards. You can, anything that you would really use in paper crafting as in decoration or ephemera in your books, you can create doing it this way. So lots and lots of fun. And don't get too caught up in the whole placement of things. I find sometimes if you're just simply putting paper to, putting down paper, it's at the end when you've cut out your pieces, that's where you'll see, the magic kind of happens, because it really is, it really does, it can turn out so nicely. I'm just looking for a little bit of just plain paper, I think I'm going to put down there and then over the top. So I hope everybody's having a nice Saturday. It's beautiful weather today here in Brisbane. A little bit overcast, but the temperatures are gorgeous. I think winter is finally on the way, which I'm really very happy about. So it's nice to, I've got the house to myself. My husband works on Saturday and my daughter has gone out with her partner. They're celebrating their anniversary, so I have the house to myself, and it's so nice. Life gets so busy, and I don't always have the time that I used to have just to be here in the craft room. So I tend to miss it. I really do. I miss my crafting time. That's nice. I like that. It's a bit of a messy process, Masterboards, only because it's quite gluey. I do tend to get it all over my hands and everything. I have my glue book, which I keep these pages and turn those into other things. But yeah, I find I have to change pages quite regularly because they get so gluey. It isn't funny. I like that there, and I like the February. Well, there's a bit more text, which is cool. Like so. And it's just plain. Just have a plain. I don't think there are any right and wrongs when it comes to this type of thing. It's all imagination and what you want to do. It really is, And even if you're creating today for something that you don't have a clue where it's going to go to, that's okay too. Because, you'll find in the end you'll use it all up. I'm getting a bit confused. I'll put that one there. And I love all these rough edges. I don't try to get rid of them. A lot of things are cut to a straight line, but I do love all the rough, distressed looking edges. So I do try to keep them all as, in there as well. A little bit of text, pop in there. So, just giving everything a really good press down. I want something here. That seems too blank. Oh, dogs are barking at something. Getting a bit confused. If you've got bigger pieces, that's where it would be easier, because you'd lay your big pieces underneath and then come back in with all the smaller bits. But yeah, where I love to use Edith Holden, and I use everything that I possibly can, so there isn't a great deal left in a book by the time I'm finished with it. And this way, doing a masterboard like this, nothing goes to waste, because it becomes brand new again once you've completed your masterboard, and then you lay it out. sorry, and you cut your images, then everything is like, oh, it's all brand new again. Oh, there's there's so many possibilities. So yeah, it's a really, really fun, interesting thing to do. And I'll just pop that there. Put that one there, and then that one over the top. Sorry. That one's the oldest leaf in here, so I'll fill that spot in there with the leaf. Like that. As I said, it gets very messy. Your hands get very sticky. Baby wipes. Baby wipes are brilliant. Are brilliant for when you're doing this type of thing. I just don't have mine handy. But yeah, you can clean your hands, clean up excess glue. Really, really good little resources to have on your craft table. Alright, so we've still got that one goes there. I've got this leaf here that I might pop in. Oh, I don't know yet. Let's see what else have we got. A bit of blank. I'll put just a bit of blank in there. And cover it over with something. Blank, actually, I might just go randomly right down there. A bit of rough off there, sticking to my fingers. So Kerry was in touch. She received her folio in the mail, so I was really happy that it arrived to her safely. She's very happy with it. I really enjoyed doing that little folio, and it was the first time I had done a craft with me, so yeah, a little bit intimidating to begin with, but not too bad in the end. We got there in the end, so I still can't believe though that I deleted the video of doing the last masterboard. So let's hope, fingers crossed, that the battery stays in the camera and that the computer plays the game when I go to upload, and you know, there's a whole menagerie of things that may happen yet. We'll just have to wait and see. But fingers crossed that this will work and we'll get it up on YouTube. And I'm just using here just a bit of book page, coffee stained, so it looks really old. I just like the really rough edges on that. Oh. Sometimes when the papers are fragile, they do break a bit, but that's no big deal. I like this bit of floral here. There. That. What do we got? Another strip of text. There. You know, really, masterboards or collages are really up to your imagination. You can make them as elaborate as you wish. What I tend to do is I do my base just like we're doing now, and then I cut them all into the styles of ephemera that I want to use, you know, tags or journal cards or what have you, and then I'll embellish further. I have another Edith Holden book on the go at the moment, so I'll come back in and I'll cut out some more images and make some focal points on the finished product type thing. what you can also do, I'm not doing it today because of ease of time, because I only have a 30-minute recording window. But all these little bits that we're placing down, you can actually ink all the edges of those before you place them down. That looks really, really lovely. Very grungy when you do that type of thing. It just depends what the outcome is, what you want at the end of the day. And as I said, I'm creating this today with no particular end game, so I'm just putting paper down. I like that. I like the filigree too, because I might cut that one off a bit. Fit there, yeah. And I want one more piece for over here. A nice piece. I do like these eggs. Alright. So that is a masterboard. That is pretty much all a masterboard is a nice big collage sheet. I do mine on the 12 by 12, like I said, because you know I want to get as much ephemera out of a sheet as I can. But if you've only got, you know, little bits to play with, then there's no rule. It doesn't mean you can do it however you like. So there are our two masterboards. This is the one I did earlier today, and this is the one we just did now. This one's a little plainer. So what I've done, I'll use this one because it's completely dry. So you want to sort of set it aside. It's going to be tacky for a little while. So you want to kind of set it aside for a little while and let it dry off completely. So this one is nice and dry. So what I have already done is I have a tag template. I do tend to use big size tags. My tags measure just over 8 centimetres wide by, say, 15.5 centimetres long. But if you use a smaller tag, then you'll get far more ephemera. So I turn it back over now to the back, and I've already done it, but you just go along and just trace around your tag template or whatever the ephemera is that you're creating. And out of this 12 by 12, I'm actually going to get six tags out of this one. So then you just grab your scissors and you just start cutting it out, trimming out the tags, and then you get the surprise at the end as to what you've actually created. And I like this part. I always do it this way because I don't know what's gonna come up, and yeah, it's just fun. This cardboard, this one here, is a bit thicker than the other one. I need a new pair of scissors. I really do. I'm one of those people, you know, my scissors are my scissors. I cut my hair with these, I trim paper with them, I cut material with them, and I really need to get myself a really good pair of scissors for fabric and a really good pair of scissors for paper, and stop cutting my hair. But, you know, that's what you do. Trim these corners off. And there are some of the tags. See, they just look really cool. And yeah, I love them. Now I would come back in and I could put obviously an image from the Edith Holden book. I could put a Tracy Fox label amongst those. Shabby Dabby Doodah have a beautiful range of numbers, vintage look numbers, so I would definitely put some of those in there. I would definitely distress ink all the edges and machine stitch around. I just really like that look. You don't have to. It's just something that I like to do. And then of course you punch your holes and thread your ribbon or your calico or whatever tie you want to put on there as your ribbon, as your tag pull. But yeah, so there we go. That is how I create ephemera in bulk. So we've got our 6 tags. 6 tags, and then we've got the other one that we've just done, so that's another 6 tags, so that's 12 tags. And we created a masterboard in 20 minutes, and from that masterboard we're going to have 6 pieces of ephemera. So I think that's a really good way to create your ephemera in bulk. Yeah, so then yeah, just grab, you know, whatever ink you're using at the time, and just go around and ink up all your edges. If you like this kind of thing, I so need some new ink too. If you like to ink your edges, you don't have to. It's completely up to you. And then just build it from there. Layer it up with different types of things. Tim Holt's ephemera look beautiful on these. Like I said, I've got Tracy Fox Love Junk Journal labels. I've got Shabby Dabby Doo-Dah labels. I've got some pretty French ephemera script from Paper Daisy journals. So I will just, you know, fiddle with these, and yeah, and just do whatever. Make some tags. So anyway, that's probably about all for me today. I hope I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it's sort of made you, if you've seen things about masterboards lately up in the craft channels, that's as simple as I make it. You know, there may be other tutorials that show you in a different way, but that's the way I do it. And hopefully it's given you some inspiration to make some for yourself. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful Saturday, and I'll catch you again in the next video. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye for now.